Y'all know the morning routine. Salam, shalom, hotep, peace and blessings. You know I'll go. I'll have to wait. I'll wait for 7 people, and then we get started. It is another interesting day here. Good morning, good rise. How was everybody's dreaming? I hope you brought back some pleasantries, maybe some answers. I know, y'all. I'm gonna take care of this nail thing soon. I know I've been lacking on my nails badly. Just redid my eyebrows last night. Hey, Alicia, how you doing? Let's see. Good morning, Hector. It's beautiful to see you guys. Okay, 3. I'll run it. Excellent. Excellent. Consoir. My consoir. My sister Sheckmecker. You. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Because this is something that hit me yesterday. Oh, you finally got your notification? Excellent. Good. Then we working this. We are working this. Well, there it is. Number 7. Time to start. Yay! Y'all know I don't start till it hit the number 7. There it is. All right. Today's lesson. Breathing. Somebody got in contact with me yesterday and wondered why it was so hard for her to process things. Good morning, Rhonda. And I told her the number one reason why sometimes our brains don't work for us properly is because we're not breathing. You're not breathing properly. Honestly, come on, y'all. Put down there. How many of you were actually formally taught to breathe? If you were in choir, you were taught to breathe. If you're an athlete, somebody taught you how to breathe. Anything along those lines, you were giving formal training on breathing. If you were not a part of these particular events during your childhood, teenage years, or your 20s as a coach in college, you did not get this lesson on breathing. You breathe by reflex. See, that's when you learn to breathe in chorus. Exactly. You're breathing by reflex. Nobody really taught you how to breathe, even though it's the first thing you have to do to prove that you're alive. And it's the last thing you do to enter death. But nobody ever taught you how to do it, even though it is something that's needed more than water. You can go a week without water. You can go a month without food. You can't go 3 minutes without breathing, or you are out of here. Longer than 3 minutes, even a little bit under 3 minutes, the body goes into shock and it starts to shut down body systems. Now imagine that you don't know how to breathe all of your life. So you have been suffocating, just on the verge of suffocating all of your life. As a child, you were breathing by reflex, which is why children can scream for hours on end. They know how to breathe. They come out knowing how to breathe. There are different breath techniques that children use, and a lot of them are pre-birth breathing. You know, a child breathes from its diaphragm. We don't. We breathe in our shoulders and backs, and those are called shallow breaths. Shallow breaths do not change out the oxygen in your lungs. It just doesn't. Now, y'all are going to wonder how I'm going to teach this to you, but I'm going to teach it to you. Oh, look, we're back down to that number 7. I love that number. Okay. First of all, I need everybody to sit up straight. You have to sit up straight. In order to breathe properly, you can't be hunched over. In order to breathe properly, you can't be hunched. The back can't be rounded. The shoulders can't be forward. What has to happen is the shoulders have to go back. Okay? The body has to sit up straight. When the body sits up straight, the lungs, which sit right under your breast and off to the side, get the amount of space that they need to balloon out. Okay? Why am I teaching this? Because if your mind is not properly oxygenated, you're not going to get any of the lessons that I'm getting. So now I have to go back and teach you how to breathe so that while you're in class, your brain is not swimming in hypoxia. So, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't even sit up straight to begin with. So, you're losing lung capacity just by bending over. Your lungs are compromised. Okay? So, you want to sit up straight, back straight, everything tucked in, spine elongated. Okay? Now, a lot of people are used to breathing like this. See, it's just happening up here in my chest. I want you to realize something. Your lungs sit down below your heart. So if you're breathing up here in your chest, you're not breathing down into your lungs. You're just changing out the top layer of air in your lungs. So the air in your lungs are stale. It's like stagnant water. Icky stuff happens in stagnant water, and icky stuff happens in stagnant air. And if it's happening in your lungs, in stagnant air, you wonder why you have upper respiratory problems. Disease lives in a non-oxygenated body. Oxygen is a bleach. Oxygen gives you fire. Just shared this with my favorite. Okay? Without oxygen, there can be no fire. Without oxygen, there can be no fire. Oxygen is one of the reasons they can get things off of this planet through the through the 3 spheres, because the atmosphere is just one of them. Get them through the 3 spheres and into what we call free flow or gravity. It takes oxygen to do that. And if you don't have oxygen in your system, you can't burn fuel. Let me say that again. If you don't have oxygen in your system, you cannot burn fuel. You have a weight problem? Maybe you should look at your breathing for a second. I know a lot of people be like, oh no, you just have to exercise more and eat lots of vegetables and fruits. Not necessarily. Sometimes it is your breathing. Now, if you add exercise on top of it, exercise does make you breathe harder. It makes you breathe deeper. So it's kind of a missed thing when people just say, oh, she just needs more exercise. Well, be specific. Yes, she does need to move, but breathing is something that's really fucking important. How about you teach her to breathe before you teach her to move? Then maybe moving would be easier when she is taught how to breathe. Or him. Now, how do you take these deep breaths? All right, y'all, I'm going to tell you now. If you haven't been taking deep breaths for over 20 years, this is going to hurt. Ask Tony. She's here. I taught her how to breathe. Midsection ain't been the same since. Because breathing requires muscle work. Breathing ain't easy. You're breathing properly. You're exercising. Because it takes effort to breathe properly. I know a lot of people that you just don't take no effort to breathe because you've been breathing wrong. It does take effort to breathe. It takes effort to take in a deep breath. That's why people have to remind you, hey man, take a deep breath. And you still don't take it. You still be all up in here. Okay. How do you take a real breath? I can show you. I'm going to put this out here. Okay, how to take a real deep breath, okay? First of all, you relax your shoulders. We're not even going to use our shoulders, which means we're not going to use our upper body at all, okay? What I want you to do is think about the bottom of your belly. Yes, the bottom of your belly. Think about the bottom of your belly. When you're thinking about the bottom of your belly, what I want you to do is when you inhale in, when you take that deep breath in, I want you to hollow out your stomach. It's supposed to drop down and out. When it drops down and out, I want you to forcibly, with your abdomen, push it all back in. That's an exhale. When you force your abdomen back into your spine to push your lungs up so that you can get all of the air out of your lungs so no stale air stays in your lungs. You are constantly moving out the air in your lungs so it doesn't go stale. Stale air contains no oxygen. It only contains carbon dioxide and other poisons that the body is trying to get rid of. Hence why you inhale, taking in the good stuff, and you exhale out the bad stuff. If you are not exhaling properly, you are poisoning yourself. And the system knows this. There's a reason they brought in oxygen bars instead of just teaching you how to breathe. You're dropping too quickly for the system to keep up. Now, we're going to take a couple deep breaths together. But here is my warning. Here is my warning. For those of you who watched Fight Club, you should know this. Oxygen gets you high. It is a free high. It is a beautiful high from the earth herself. She made this just for you. It's a feel-good kind of thing. So when somebody tells you, hey man, take a deep breath, they're actually telling you, hey man, catch a high right quick. Catch it. They can't stop. They can't make oxygen illegal. I mean, they can fuck it off in the atmosphere like they're doing. They're specifically changing the atmosphere. I don't know why people don't understand that the earth is being terraformed. I said it. They are changing the water. They're changing the air. Changing water and changing air changes everything. So think about that in your transformation. Change the air and you change out the water, you change everything. Air is intelligent. Water is intelligent. Change those two things Everything else will follow. I'm going to say this breathing technique one more time. Sit up straight. When you find yourself hunched over during the day, sit your ass back up straight. There's a reason. Posture is important. Posture is important to kings, queens, and anybody else that feels that they need their bodies to last them a certain amount of time while they're on this planet without degrading. Sit your ass up straight. No, sit up straight. Sit up straight, even when you're sitting on the floor. And sometimes do your best not to sit in seats that have backs. So that way you will support yourself. You will sit straight up. Make it a point. The straighter you sit, the more air you get in your lungs, because you're giving your lungs their proper due. Now, when you inhale, there are a few things that you can do. There are a couple techniques you can do. You can inhale through your nose, right? When you inhale through your nose, make sure you bottom out your stomach. You have to bottom it out. You literally push it out to inhale your lungs. Your lungs act like balloons. They really don't have muscles around them. When the diaphragm bottoms out, when your diaphragm bottoms out, what happens is that space in the lungs gets pulled down. And that's an inhale. It's taking in air. It's being pulled down. Air is coming into it. Now, the more forcible that down is, meaning if you just bottom out your stomach really hard, you create pretty much what I call a tornado. That air is being pulled into the lungs like a tornado wash. And it will get to the bottom of your lungs, stir up all of that poison, and get it up and out when you exhale. That's the best way to think about it. That you're actually causing weather patterns in your body to help you clean them. A lot of people don't understand why tornadoes take place. Tornadoes clean the land. So cause a tornado in your lungs to clean your lungs. Especially people that suffer from sinuses, pneumonia, upper respiratory problems, asthma, bronchial problems, what else? Thyroid problems. I know it does not make sense that this might help thyroids, but you have to understand where the thyroid is located. The thyroid is located in your So proper breathing past this little problem that most of us have might clear it up. It might help it, if nothing else. Try it. There's nothing stopping you from trying it. But you guys, if you are not breathing properly, your mind is not going to work properly. If you're wondering why there's a disconnect between your intent and your mind working that magic, it might just be you need to learn to breathe. You need to get oxygen to your brain. It's not your fault, but it is your problem. You know, sometimes it's not even a matter of exercising to get the oxygen in your system. Sometimes it's just a matter of sitting your ass down somewhere and just breathing. Deep breathing. Not that, look at him. No. More like, I'm not going to think about nothing, but deep breathing. When you really start to deep breathe, you'll realize that it feels like you've done like 100 crunches, because you have. Pulling that abdomen wall back and forth, just forcibly pulling it back and forth and back and forth, using your lateral obliques to squeeze your lungs. Opening your lungs, squeeze your lungs, open your lungs, squeeze your lungs. It's a workout in itself. We used to didn't have to just arbitrarily go to the gym and work out. We used to work out just by working our bodies properly. It's because we've slipped on how to use our bodies that now we have to add action to our lives to keep us fit. When honestly, 20 minutes of sitting down, doing deep breathing. I'm not telling you to meditate. Meditation will come with it. I promise. The only thing I want you to do is sit down and deep breathe. I'm not going to tell you to meditate. Meditation will come. The air will make you do it. All I want you to concentrate on is getting the air in. That's it. That's it. Bottom out your diaphragm and force all that air out. Bottom out your diaphragm, force all the air out. Bottom out your diaphragm, force all the air out. That is how your diaphragm works. It goes from one side of your hip to the other side of your hip, just below your belly button. It's like a hammock that holds everything in your chest up and separate it from everything that's in your hips down. So the diaphragm is actually pushing all of these organs up. That's how powerful this slingshot is. It's pushing everything up. So with every breath, you should actually be tickling all your organs. Because that's what breathing does. That's what it's supposed to do. Everything in your body has more than one function. You know, the Creator was kind of really cute to us about that. But deep breathing, you guys that work in offices are the worst for it. You sit in your little chair with your little hands things on it, and you go to shallow breathing. You go to panting. I actually call it panting. And if you walk around, you'll see people doing it now. Let me see if you can hear it. That's panting. You're not a dog. You should be breathing truly once for every 4 to 5 times you pant. You don't have a cooling system like a dog. You don't have to pant. Deep, deep breathing. You will find that you get through your day easier. You will find that you are burning calories faster if you breathe properly throughout the day. Your thinking will become clearer. Your thinking will become sharper. You'll be able to make quicker connections because your body is properly oxygenated. Mind hack. You have to do exercises. You have to exercise to do this. No, you don't. You can sit on your butt and oxygenate yourself. That's why you have aerobic exercise and anaerobic exercise, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called anaerobic. One deals with oxygenating the body. The other one is the opposite. Meditation oxygenates your body. So, again, proper breathing, y'all. Proper breathing. And you know what? There are lots of things out there on breathing. Proper breathing brings you power. A lot of us, I'm a martial artist, and I do Tai Chi Chuan. Chi has a lot to do with breath Being able to generate power has a lot to do with proper breathing, proper alignments, proper posture. Proper breathing brings proper mind control because your mind has the oxygen it needs to form proper thoughts. You've ever seen anybody who's dying of suffocation? Their mind is muggled. Thinking becomes hard. Anybody who's had brain damage due to lack of oxygen, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's real damage done to the body when oxygen is not present. You need it. You need it badly. And for those people who do martial arts, you know you need it. We need to keep our minds on breathing all the time because we have to heal differently than regular folk because we're always breaking up our bodies. So it is necessary to keep oxygen in our systems so that our bodies can, one, heal themselves, and two, have the proper gas levels to even handle being able to think on higher levels. This ain't gonna take long, and I'm done on this, guys. Remember, keep your back straight. Watch your breathing. And hey, remind people to take deep breaths. Sometimes people just forget that how important breathing really is. So, breathe. It keeps you alive. Yay. All right, y'all. This is a lesson, and play this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. You get depressed, play this, and I promise you'll be like, oh shoot, I haven't been breathing. Let me start breathing. Yes, I'm friendly reminder on keep breathing, you guys. You got your water intake going. You got your water. You got at 8.0 or above on the alkaline scale. You have full water. You have full oxygen. What else can you talk about except nutrition? That's right, nutrition will be next. And that's going to be funny because y'all think I'm going one way and I'm going to go another. I promise. I always do. All right, who is this? I'm Fundi Fee. Love bringing y'all good knowledge. Love it, love it, love it, especially when you interact with me. I love it. Got my ear to the street, y'all. My ear to the street. My ear to the street. You have questions, contact me. You want something talked about, hit me up. I love doing current information that you guys want and need. Be good to yourself in the 4 great diasporas. Salam, shalom, hotep, peace. Love y'all.